You were taught that being liked is power. Smile more, be humble, stay agreeable, don't make people uncomfortable. And for a while, it works. People praise you. They call you good, kind, easy to talk to. But then something strange begins to happen. They stop respecting your boundaries. They interrupt you mid-sentence. They take your time without guilt. They borrow your energy and never return it. And the worst part? You notice they treat cruel men with more caution than they treat you with kindness. That's the moment the illusion cracks. Because the world doesn't always reward goodness. Sometimes it rewards danger, not chaos, not violence. Danger, the silent understanding that crossing you has consequences. And deep down, you already know this. You've seen it in school, at work, on social media, in relationships. The man everyone likes is often ignored. The man people fear disappointing, he controls the room without raising his voice. And centuries ago, one man exposed this truth with terrifying clarity. Niccolò Machiavelli. He asked a question that society still refuses to answer honestly. Is it better to be loved or feared? His answer would destroy everything you were taught by the world around you. So stick around and discover the brutal truth the world doesn't want you to know. Chapter 1. The lie you were raised on. From childhood, you were conditioned to seek approval. Gold stars, likes, validation, acceptance. You learned that rejection equals failure, so you adapted. You became careful with your opinions, careful with confrontation, careful with truth. You mastered the art of being acceptable, but acceptance has a hidden price. The more desperately you need people to like you, the more power they have over you, because now your identity depends on their reaction. One bad comment ruins your day. One unfollow shakes your confidence. One criticism feels like an attack on your existence. And social media amplified this weakness into an epidemic. Millions of people performing versions of themselves, begging strangers for digital approval, laughing when they don't want to laugh, agreeing when they don't agree, pretending confidence while drowning in insecurity. Why? Because humans fear exclusion more than almost anything. Your brain still carries ancient survival wiring. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by the tribe meant death. So now, every ignored message, every cold response, every public embarrassment feels like psychological danger, and manipulators know this. They sense approval addiction instantly. They can smell desperation in your tone, in your posture, in the way you over-explain yourself. The moment people realize you fear losing them, you lose leverage. That's the brutal truth nobody says out loud. The person who needs approval least controls the interaction most. And if you've stayed with us until this point and found value in this video, we'd truly love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Your support, perspective, and engagement help keep these videos alive. Kindly subscribe to Mind's Goals and join us for more powerful conversations that will change the way you see life forever. Chapter 2. Why nice people get destroyed. You thought kindness would protect you. Instead, it made you vulnerable. Because there's a difference between kindness and weakness. Weakness apologizes for existing. Weakness avoids conflict at any cost. Weakness sacrifices self-respect to keep temporary peace. And the world tests weakness relentlessly. People push your boundaries just to see what happens. Most never say this consciously. But psychologically, everyone asks the same hidden question. What are the consequences of disrespecting you? If the answer is nothing, they slowly stop valuing you. Not because humans are evil. Because humans instinctively respect strength. Even children understand this. The teacher who wants everyone to like them loses control of the classroom. The teacher willing to enforce consequences commands attention immediately. Machiavelli understood something uncomfortable about human nature. People are loyal to convenience before morality. As long as being around you benefits them, they stay. But when pressure arrives, most people protect themselves first. That's why the desperate need to be loved becomes dangerous. Because love based only on comfort is fragile. Fear, however, creates permanence. Not terror, not abuse. Predictable consequence. The understanding that you cannot be exploited safely. And suddenly, People move differently around you. They respect your time. Your words become heavier. Your silence becomes louder. Because certainty changes human behavior more than affection ever will. Chapter 3. The Psychology of Fear. Fear is one of the oldest forces on Earth. It built kingdoms, started wars, controlled empires. And no matter how civilized society becomes, human psychology barely changes. People say they admire kindness, but watch who they obey. Watch who dominates social spaces. Watch who influences culture. Watch who people hesitate to challenge publicly. It's rarely the most likable person. It's the person perceived as untouchable. The dangerous thing about fear is that it doesn't require constant presence. A respected consequence lives inside people's minds. That's power. And modern society hides this reality beneath fake positivity. Be nice. Be soft. Be harmless. Harmless. Think about that word. A harmless man may be safe, but he is rarely respected. Because deep down, humans trust disciplined strength more than passive weakness. A man who could become dangerous, but chooses restraint, commands a different level of respect. That's why controlled individuals appear powerful. They don't react emotionally. They don't beg. They don't chase validation. And because they can walk away, people fear losing them. Scarcity creates value. Desperation destroys it. The moment you become emotionally dependent on approval, you surrender authority over your own mind. Chapter 4. The Social Media Illusion. Never before in human history have so many people been so terrified of judgment. One post can become humiliation. One mistake can become public entertainment, so people adapt by becoming safe, predictable, filtered, artificial. You scroll through endless confidence, while millions secretly fear saying what they really think. And the algorithm rewards emotional weakness, outrage, validation addiction, attention-seeking behavior. Because insecure people are easier to manipulate, the more emotionally reactive you become, the easier you are to control. That's why the strongest people online often appear detached. Not because they don't feel emotion, because they mastered it. Silence intimidates emotional chaos. And this creates a painful realization. Most people aren't hated because they're dangerous. They're ignored because they're forgettable. They sacrificed authenticity to remain accepted. But history never remembers the agreeable. It remembers the people willing to stand alone. Chapter 5. The moment everything changes. Then comes the moment, the betrayal, the humiliation, the disrespect you never expected. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe friends abandoned you the moment you stopped being useful. Maybe you gave everything to people who disappeared when you needed them most. And suddenly, you see reality clearly for the first time. You realize loyalty without strength is fragile. You realize being good never guaranteed protection. You realize the world can love your usefulness while ignoring your worth. That realization hardens you, not into cruelty, into awareness. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop chasing people. You stop negotiating your standards. And for the first time in your life, silence stops feeling lonely. It starts feeling powerful. Because now you understand something most people never will. The ability to walk away is power. The ability to say no is power. The ability to disappoint people without collapsing emotionally is freedom. And suddenly, the same people who ignored you begin treating you differently. Not because you became louder, because you became harder to control. Chapter 6. The Truth. Here is the truth Machiavelli exposed centuries ago. People misunderstand his message completely. He never argued for blind cruelty. He argued for psychological reality. Love is unstable. People love you when it's convenient, when it benefits them. When life is comfortable, but fear survives mood swings. Fear survives disagreement. Fear survives temptation. Because fear is tied to consequence. And consequence shapes behavior more reliably than emotion. That's the hidden structure beneath power. The world pretends morality controls human behavior, but consequences do. Laws, status, boundaries, discipline, all forms of controlled fear. Even confidence itself contains an element of fearlessness. Because confident people are willing to lose approval. That's what makes them magnetic. Most people are trapped. They cannot speak honestly because they fear rejection, cannot lead because they fear criticism, cannot become powerful because they fear being disliked. And so they remain small, for the comfort of others. But the people who transform their lives share one terrifying trait: they stop needing permission. Chapter 7. Becoming untouchable. Being feared does not mean becoming a tyrant. It means becoming internally solid, disciplined, controlled, unshakable. A man who cannot be manipulated emotionally becomes dangerous to weak systems, because now guilt no longer controls him. Approval no longer controls him. Public opinion no longer controls him. And once people realize emotional attacks no longer work on you, their behavior changes instantly. This is why discipline creates presence, why restraint creates authority, why calmness intimidates chaos. You don't need to threaten people. Your standards do it for you. Your boundaries do it for you. Your willingness to leave does it for you. Real power is quiet. It doesn't scream. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't beg to be understood. It simply exists. And everyone in the room feels it. Final chapter, the choice. So now the question returns. The same question asked centuries ago by Machiavelli. Would you rather be loved or feared? Most people answer emotionally, but power answers differently, because the real goal was never fear. And it was never love. It was respect. But here's the brutal truth. Respect without strength is temporary. The world respects people who can enforce boundaries, who can survive alone, who refuse humiliation, who remain calm under pressure. People may admire kindness, but they trust strength. And if you spend your entire life trying to be liked by everyone, you may wake up one day realizing nobody truly respects you. So the real transformation begins the moment you stop asking, "How do I make people like me?" and start asking, "What happens when I no longer fear their rejection?" Because that is the moment you become dangerous. Not dangerous to innocent people, dangerous to manipulation, dangerous to weakness, dangerous to every system built on your self-doubt. And once you reach that point, you no longer need to chase respect. People feel it the moment you enter the room, silently, instinctively, like a storm approaching in the distance.